Hey guys, I'm trying something new here. Well, I've done this kind of stuff in the past, but this is just a comparison video I'm making to help figure out the theory of crafting, what's right and what's wrong. I've had some back and forth discussions with various people on the forums and in replies to my guide and stuff about certain, well, healers being better or worse than other ones. So I am just putting to bed this topic by actually testing it. And the way I am testing it is, first off, one of the claims is decide which is better, Explorer or Chefs. When I do my own theory crafting, looked at it and try to figure out, I think Explorer is probably better than the Chef, but in the long term, but everyone says Chef is better because they are pretty strong up front. My test here methodology is to see how far they go. I am tier 1 right now. I'm only going to be tier 1, and I'm trying to use the most neutral other dudes to be part of this test. So I am trying to not I'm trying to let the healers shine for themselves and remove as many RNG factors as possible from this test. Sorry for the beeps. I have work laptop going while I'm doing this. So what I'm doing is I'm trying to do an ensemble so I can choose the healer I want and the healer that does not get to show up. So I will not have any Explorer dudes. And when I do the next video, I'm going to put it together with this one early, but the next part of the video, I will have no Chef dudes. I am ordering them. So the reason I have the general is that way you can tactical command someone that doesn't exist. This way, when I'm forced to pick relics that I can't get around, either I can do if I can do like something like Splitting Headache, a consumable, which I'm not going to use any consumables, or a relic that does not affect the outcome between these two, like a general relic that affects the Explorer dudes, but the Explorers aren't there, so it doesn't affect anybody. Or I pick an Explorer relic because the Explorers aren't around. Other than that, I am trying to also only pick the relics for the Chef dude and all the family relics that would be available to that guy, and relics that would not mess up the how good the outcome, basically. So I did not go, for example, nuclear codes, and I did not go for job ads, even though job ads is a good relic for the Chef to get more dudes. That would, because I can't control the dudes that show up when I add them from the Dude Whisperer, I had to toss that one out. And it doesn't affect combat directly, it's indirectly by having different dudes, and I just don't want to be able to have different dudes I can't control how I get them. I already have that issue going on when you're offered dudes at the end of each round. I'm trying to minimize anything that's not a Chef dude, right? Or the healer I'm trying to beat on. Because healers heal themselves within their same dude group. And this was as good of a test as I could figure out and formulate. Yes, there's going to be some differences between the tests, some variability, but I'm trying to minimize that as much as possible and make it easier to extrapolate how good one is from another based off the results I see from here. I had done this earlier, but I forgot to go into endless mode. I hit the wrong button really quick because my kid came in at the same token. So the Chefs made it to the boss round, barely beat the boss. I didn't have enough dude juice either to pop and ball back up to see how far they go in endless mode. But I want them to do the boss and then see how far they go after the boss with full roster as well. But that's it. The other invariability that I really can't control is the food buffs. I gave one to the Explorer, and as you can see, and then the other one, since this is tier 1, you get 2 of them, to the one I'm going to use the least, which in this case is the Samurai. That's the one that popped up the least amount, and once it starts popping up the least, I try and keep that one down the lowest, and I try and give more of a defensive ones from toughness, against health or something like that. That's when we give to the least one. So again, it doesn't affect, hopefully, the outcome of the whole thing. These guys, they're the other ones. It kind of sucks. I do have a couple extra regular good dudes. I'd rather turn as a Chef dudes, but I'm going to try and balance this out and do all the other runs in comparison as well. But the point is, general dudes just basically, if they're not using their command and their relics on the command target, then they're just doing basic DPS. Same with finance dudes, they really just give you money. And so that's why I'm trying to keep these all relatively the same. I'm not going to do this for all the healers. I'm just going to do it for Chef right now. Explorer, and Medic. So that's where I'm going to limit myself to on these, because Medic's in the Warrior family, so it makes it easier to keep the same relics and everything as easy for a cross comparison as possible. So that's where I'm at. I'm going to go ahead and just start and keep recording this and see how it goes. And I also did do a little bit of hacking to make sure I have the money to get what initially all the good relics and pass the initial harder hump of the beginning of the game, for just putting everything in one dude by buying all the relics so I can get here faster. Point is, by the end of the game or any run with anything, you would have those relics anyways, so it's not a big deal. And also make sure I'm getting the rolls I want. I give myself a bunch of dice so I can roll to exactly match. So I'll have that going between the test comparison runs. And I also, when I get trinkets, I gave the air horn, and I'm going to have only the air horn to the healer in the first position with the captain's hat. So that's going to all be the same. The air horn is consistent. It's every second you get a bit of a buff, so that way it maintains consistency, and everything else I'll just give to the one that's not there, so it just overwrites and deletes it, so none of these other dudes are affected by a trinket that can change in an outsized way the outcome of what I'm trying to do here. And that's my theory, and it's hopefully what's going to happen. So let's see how far these guys go. Go ahead and continue recording. I'll explain everything. This has been pretty consistent where these guys are, what you see on screen has been all the way throughout. This is what it was the last run I did it with the chefs as the main dudes. I got to the boss. I had, I think, 56, 57 chef dudes, so it's about the same amount, right? And on the boss with the goat, all the other dudes died, and the chefs, I probably had like 8 left before I was able to beat it, so I probably should buy some more dude juice just in case. I'm just trying to keep them even between the other ones. And just seeing how they perform, right? That's the purpose of this test. Both in healing, both in DPS, and how they survive as well. What they bring to a team overall. Because each healer is a little bit different. Yes, they all heal. Some are a little bit better in some forms of healing versus the others. They also all provide other forms of utility, plus a bit of damage, plus the ability to take a little damage, right? I'm not doing the samurai because he's got the food buff, and I don't want him to have an outsized influence. Sorry, phone call. And the only time I take the samurai dude is if the samurai is offered at the same time the explorer, so I'm forced to take one or the other. So, and it's really just to mitigate the food buff. Since I had to put it somewhere, and I don't want it on the chef because the food buffs are so randomized on what you get. Right? I can't guarantee that the chef and the medic and the explorer will get the exact same food buff for them. So I did, like I said, I don't want that to be an outsized influence or a factor upon this test. Let's buy a couple of dude juices. Go to 30, and it should be okay. I don't think I have enough to, I mean, I'll be able to do it. But here's the last boss. Let's see how it goes. Like I said, the last time I ran this test, it didn't go so well. I beat it, but they got pretty stumped. and they got stomped yet again. Basically, I think last time I had 55 of these, and I had a couple more samurais. I think they made a slight bit of a difference. Otherwise, it's the exact same setup, and I only had like a couple of chefs. And I said 8, and it might even be less, that barely survived to go on. Basically, that's it for this. These guys have a hard time taking on the boss and really wouldn't go any further. I'm going to go and do the next test with the Explorer next and see the difference. See you guys in a little bit. All right, well, now this is part 2, and very interesting looking at the difference here. So I have stayed true to the same test build-up methodology. Differences, I got 15% less toughness on the samurai dudes. It wasn't offered the same way. Just, gee, this is terrible food. This was offered this time versus the other one. The other thing is literally was offered less regular dudes. Up at this point, I had 23 finance dudes, 24 general dudes, 5 regular dudes, and 57 chefs. So I had a total down of 3. It's 9 samurais the same. These are 24 is the same. So I'm down 3, 2, 3. So yeah, I'm down 8 dudes. Now the regular dudes aren't as big of a deal, but the other 5 could make an outsized difference. I don't know, especially the lack of the Explorer dudes. I was actually quite surprised by how the amounts of dudes you're offered on a run to be that vastly different. I don't have job ads or anything else. Didn't have on the last run. Don't have it. I just literally have it on both screens right now. I'm looking at the video. I have it over here on my other screen of what I had and versus this one. Now I have all the same stuff, same setup. Picked all the standard general trinkets, family trinkets, except for the nuclear codes and except for the job ads. I got all the trinkets for the Explorer and only trinkets for either chef dudes that I don't have any of, or general dudes where it doesn't do anything because it affects chef's dudes only, and I don't have chef's dudes. So let's see how it like this easier, right? They add buffs to a chef dude when they do that, the command target, but they can't do it because there's nothing there, so they do nothing. So nobody else has anything, so I'm actually, samurais are weaker this time around, and I have less of my other dudes. Let's see how this pans out and extrapolates between the two. Now, the difference is these go down faster than the chef dudes. The chef dudes are always healing, whereas the Explorers only heal when somebody gets to 30%. So you'll see a larger decrease overall in health totals between the two. The other thing I noticed that was weird with the trinkets offers, the chef dudes, their oregano trinket isn't offered until after round 20. Actually playing before the other stuff doesn't happen to round 30. It seems to delay once happen after round 20, after the first set, then you keep going. So that's another one that's a very odd one. I don't know why that one's particularly delayed, like say job ads or the consumable relics, but it is delayed. As a dude, innate dude trinket, it's delayed. I don't know why. Can't get him, so I am getting finance dude. And I literally had the video paused at the very beginning of the last one, so those are the missing dudes I had. Yep, I am going down on this one here, and I wonder if it's that lack of missing dudes. Doesn't bode well for the future. I might have to redo this one. Yeah, the lack of healing in the missing dudes is definitely starting to rear its ugly head. When they have their canteens full, it's very easy to keep everything up, but when they start dropping and losing, they start going down pretty fast. But they do better against the goat so far. Like it's not even comparison. I have literally less dudes and less defenses, and I completed it, whereas the chefs would not. Anyone want to say the chefs are better than the explorers still? Now, granted, I was lost a few more before this, but let's do the unlimited. The other one couldn't do the unlimited, right? Let's see what they do when I continue. Sure, whatever. And start it without reviving anybody. Well, no, I gotta keep it. I gotta see how far they go, regardless. And then we'll leave us in position with the medics as best as we can. I think the explorer dudes would have gone to the boss without losing one. Free up to him, the goat. Had I had the same amount of dudes. Missing those dudes missed a lot of healing too. Seeing how far these guys go. I'm not going to use consumables during the fight. And the reason my theory crafting was why these guys were better, there's a couple of reasons. A, they aren't required to hit or attack, and their healing is based, while it's based off their DPS, it's based off of the 150% of their DPS, and their DPS goes up infinitely, gives them infinite scaling. So they have a higher base for their healing, and then they can also self-res. So that goes down to their Fountain of Youth. Where the heck is that one on here? What's the idol? Gives them block chance. 5 seconds. 10% for 5 seconds, so you get up to 20% with 2 block chance, 2 stacks. That's pretty good right there. They also reduce damage. The blowgun here, they reduce the attack power of the enemies around them. Here it is, the Fountain of Youth. Upon taking fatal damage, the Explorer dude will dash away. So the dashing adds distance, which adds to the canteen because of the raft. When they move, they get more healing. And fully heal. So they get a full heal off of that Explorer, then it gains a 10% attack power for the rest of the battle, aka infinite for that battle. And then a 10-second cooldown. So they go down, they get away, they get full, they come back in. And then if they go down again, and at 10 seconds for that particular one has not, if it's past 10 seconds, it happens again over and over and over again. So it's only if they die twice and within 10 seconds do they stay dead, which is what the chef does not have. So they get to stay in the fight longer, get to provide more healing, and because their healing is based off their attack power keeps going up and up and up. The chef doesn't have this. It's a mechanic that only the explorer has as a healer. Hence the infinite mechanic and why I had rated them higher than others. Because they can get to go longer. Now, just before, just theory crafting, looking at this, I hadn't actually done a full test like this to verify this stuff. Ooh, wow, there's some slowdowns with that combat text going on right there. Should have bought some more dew juices. I want to see when they actually completely all fall. I want to go in with the full roster every time. Nobody right. I can fix it by just hacking the dew juices, I guess. Let me do that real quick. Sure, the rest of the explorers, whatever. Now I'm at 18. There we go. Probably not making it past this one either way. So round 108 for healer only comps with no trinkets on anything else. For the explorer seems to be as far as it would go, which is a lot further than the chef. Oh, no, they still made it through. Wow. And then, as I said, I'll do a third one here with the medic. I don't have high hopes for them, unfortunately. Shotgun turtles are so disgusting in terms of how strong they are in this game. I don't think they're making it through this one here. Alright, 111 was as far as the Explorer took it. Alright guys, they still did a ton of damage, they still did a ton of healing. They're beasts as far as healers go. In my opinion, the best healer with the Franken dude, but I'm going to do the medic next. And if anybody wants to see me do another one like this for other ones, I can certainly be happy to do so. Going to go ahead and end the recording here, and then I'll start up the recording at the Coliseum for the medic next. See you guys soon. All right, I decided to interrupt the progress here as part of the recording here for the medics as the part 3. Just to give a little update during the middle of it, right now on around 60, and the medics have already started having people all the way through up, and I'm still getting it, people drop. With both the chefs and the explorers, I didn't have a single death. And this isn't just right side, I'm going strictly left side with the medics. The other ones I messed up a couple times, I went right side, but I tried to stay with the left side because I was trying to make the fights faster. They're technically weaker on the left side, so the fights go a little bit faster, just to make this video and to do this comparison, because doing 3 long runs, even whatever, it still takes a while. But the medics I've just done completely to the left. The chefs and the explorers, my hand slips and I keep doing to the right, but I still did a lot to the left. But the medics I have not messed up. I've been a bit better at it, and they're still dropping people. The medics are just rougher to be healers going towards the end because they just can't keep the healing up the same way that a lot of the other healers can. Maybe they scale better than I think they do. I don't have high hopes, but unlike the other two, we're very good right now. And most of the other healers, I don't have issues. I've tried them before. I haven't made videos on them, but I have tried this kind of this semi-pseudo experiment, not to this degree of trying to maintain all the variables involved to make it as fair of a comparison as possible. But the medics and the clerics have always been kind of so that's why I rated them lower. My guide is lower, and I'm just throwing this in there. As you can see, I've had people they just die, and it kind of sucks. Or not, I've died and go unconscious. Sorry, but I'm gonna stop recording as this interlude here, and then jump back on near the end again, unless something else major happens to end the run beforehand somehow that these guys can't keep up. Just to let you know, like I said, I'm just choosing and just binding and replacing. We need to fix that so we can just move them around, but whatever. I'll see you guys in a moment. Another quick little interlude. I just realized that when I was talking about how the medics and people were still dropping, I actually did it on a boss round where they had died before, so I think it was 60 or yeah, but they're still dropping. they're still dropping. This is not a boss round, so it is consistent. I get every so often 1 or 2, especially if it's a big AoE hard-hitting target, like a shotgun turtle, or in this case the big polar bears or werewolves that are standing right next to each other and just smack a bunch of guys at once and them flying. The medics stop healing, and if it's a big enough and if they all hit at once, they can't get through the alpha strike. The medics just can't out heal it fast enough, and if you guys drop down too fast like that, they cannot keep up with the healing, and then it's just a war of attrition. You start losing. So I don't like the medics overall. On top of that, if there's a blinder in the group, they also, because medics must hit to heal, and if they're being constantly blinded by like the birds, like ravens and whatnot, then they have a harder time getting off their heals. I'm going to still continue on. It's just it's been night and day difference between the medics and the other healers, explorers, and chefs who were very good. They had no one drop up until the very end where I did the Coliseum. These guys are having people drop 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 every so often. I have to bring them back up. So I will continue on, and I'll come back again. I'm near the end to the Coliseum, still recording because guys just keep dying with the darn medics. They just I ended up with more of these guys than those guys, just the way it is. It's fun to do it, but overall, let's see here. So there's nothing else left for me to pick up that's different. And I get loaded dice. Okay. Whatever. So I'm going to go ahead and pop these guys up. This is the Coliseum. I'll keep them alive up until the end and see how they do against the goat and see how far they go. I have 1 extra samurai compared to the previous run I had done with the explorers. 1 less medic, because okay, I had 57 Chefs 54, explorers 53, medics. I had 24 finance, 24 generals for both the other two runs. I got an extra finance, extra samurai, and I got 2 extra regular dudes on the chef. So this got more than the explorer run did. I don't know if it's as much or less than the other. Okay. So let's see, put one up there, put one up there. Now I got less than the chef. So the chef still had 4 more dudes in comparison to this guy, and definitely more than the explorers. So I still got more dudes on this run compared to the explorers, and let's see how well they do, if they can make it and how far they do so. The chefs with more people died on the boss. Just throwing that out there. I'll go over the food buffs, at least the ones with the samurai. The first one, the chefs are the best with a 60% toughness. Sorry for the beeping. I'm going to turn that down. Muted, there we go. Okay. Okay, let's see here. Yeah, the difference is the samurais had a 40 and a 30 and a 15. Now it's a 5 and a deflection. It's still a decent defense buff, but again, it's only 1 extra samurai compared to the other 2 runs, so I don't think it's going to make any bit of a difference here. Go ahead and continue the song. Sorry, I was distracted. My wife trying to come in and get my attention there. Yep, 1 guy dropped. It's not wanting me to give me medics to match up to that. That's fine. The nature of the RNG. Still get more guys overall, but this is the one where I had some of my explorers drop out. The hogs. None of the chefs did. But I keep going up and down on this one. I think it's this one. Look at this. I think we're going to win this one. Yep, there we go. So the chefs had no problem all the way up to the boss, the goat. Nothing dropped. And then they lost on the goat hard. And both times I tried it, they just lost hard on the goat. And even the one time a few times I've gone past it in my previous testing, they don't go very far into the unlimited. When I've tried some of these runs on them to see how far it can go. Medic again. And because I've had so many issues with medics coming up to this point always in the past, I never really try to push them that far into the unlimited, so I don't even bother with it. But maybe they do go for a while. Let's see what happens. Oh, people are dropping. Yep, I had explorers. This is the one I also dropped on. This is explorers, so I'm not doing that. Maybe I'm wrong. I think it's better to do it in a second. More are popping. A lot more are popping. A lot more are popping. Are they gonna even make it to? Wow, this is getting scary. What are they showing? I don't have high hopes for the medics here at all. There's nothing left to buy that's medic related or in general related that I missed. Just going through here and just showing this real quick. Yeah, You can see on my screen, I got everything. It should be magic to the other ones before. Go ahead and pop all and do juice to get this back up. And let them fight the boss and see if they can do it. But I don't believe they will. But maybe I'm wrong. They're already dropping. They're dropping like flies. They just can't keep up in healing. Not by themselves. And not when they're CC, which this game has a lot of, which is their main problem. They didn't even scratch the goat. So out of the 3 healers, I think I know which one I'm picking. Why I ranked the Explorer the highest. It did the best. So the exact same setup between the 3, as best as I can get it. I don't know what to say. So I'm going to go ahead and call this done. I'm going to post this video. If you guys want to see another one like this, make more discussions in the thing. And I'm specifically calling out a couple of people here. The guy that's this PC, they said I didn't know what I'm talking about, and I don't. No, this is demonstrable proof. You have no idea what you're talking about. Same with the other people in my guide section. We go do it again. Let's see who's at the bottom here that it was. I was reading from. Let's see, bottom feeder, appropriate name. 55, that's the thing. Randalus. Yeah, you guys don't know what you're talking about. I do a lot of theory crafting for a lot of games, but a lot of this kind of stuff, and do a lot of testing just like this. And I try and data mine and hack some stuff to see how this stuff works on my own as a developer. I have lots of tools to allow me to do stuff because I have those at my disposal. And I do this kind of stuff, which a lot of people do not do. I feel that I actually have a good, reasonable theory when I look at stuff and see which one should be better or worse. And then I've tested out just like the scientific method and proved one way or the other. And here we go. I was willing to say that maybe the chefs were better than the explorers. I'm pretty sure the medics were not going to turn out all that well, as they didn't. But I knew the chefs were good. I just didn't think they were as good as the explorers. And now I proved that they aren't. And I proved that the medics are not as good as either one of them. So there you guys go. I hope you enjoyed this video. And till the next one.